that's nice.
And then I walk to the Cajun Dome.
That is so cool. You get your exercise. You got doing a good deed.
Every year I'm walking down Souvenir Gate to the Cajun Dome, and I hear
Hey,
people
Mr.
thinking
Tommy.
as they pass, going, "Boy, that dude looks hot."
That is funny. Okay, how many people we have? One, two,
got
three,
enough.
4, 5, 6. Okay, all right.
Brit's not coming.
It's not coming, right? We have the ROTC here. I thought I saw them earlier. I thought we had a ROTC here. There. I'd like to call the meeting to order. First, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag and a presentation of the flags.
Detail. Halt. Left. Face. Present. Arms.
Pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Right. Face. Forward. March.
Okay, item 1.3, opening comments. Superintendent Truxclair.
Thank you, Ms. Morrison. Good evening, everyone. This week is National Teacher Appreciation Week, and I would like to take a moment to say thank you to all of our outstanding educators. You all have worked tirelessly this year to adapt to changing circumstances to meet the needs of our students. Our teachers are always at the heart of our success as a district. This year has proven that more than ever before. And so to all the teachers out there, we say thank you. Teaching is a demanding job even under normal circumstances, but the unique challenges of the pandemic have made it even more clear the vital role that you play in our schools and our community. You are an inspiration to us all. Thank you, teachers. This month our students are taking end of course tests as well as LEAP tests. These tests are a valuable assessment tool that aid our educators in pinpointing where students are excelling and where they need help. We want to remind our parents to make sure that students are well rested, arrive to school on time, and have a healthy meal to start their day. The Lafayette Parish School System has expanded our Saturday meal box distribution through the end of the school year for all children age 18 and younger who reside in Lafayette Parish, regardless of school enrollment. For more information, please visit the LPSS website. Tomorrow is the South Louisiana Day of Giving, also referred to as SOLA, Day of Giving. Our schools have been fundraising, and Love Our Schools has generously agreed to match the donations up to $500 per school. This is a great collaboration between community partners and our schools to make every dollar count. Applications are now open for various positions in the district as we prepare for the upcoming school year. Please visit the job posting section on our website for these opportunities. Last month, the Lafayette High School Lionettes dance team competed in Dance Team Union's national competition and placed first in the nation in the Spirit Showdown division. In addition, they ranked 8th in jazz and 4th in hip-hop. The team made Lafayette High history with this first place national title. Congratulations. Congratulations to the following schools for making it to the state playoffs in these sporting events. In baseball, congratulations to Acadiana High School, Karen Crow, Lafayette High, and Southside High School. In softball, congratulations to Acadiana, David Thibodeau STEM Magnet Academy, Southside High School. This marks the first playoff appearance in school history for David Thibodeau STEM Magnet Academy. I want to recognize Northside High School student Quincy Simon, who was named Regional Outstanding Female Track Athlete after competing in the 200 meters, 400 meters, as well as the 4x2 meter and 4x4 meter relay teams. Quincy and the relay teams have qualified for the state meet this weekend in Baton Rouge. Today, the Superintendent Scholarship Committee notified 37 winners of the annual Superintendent Scholarship for a total award amount of over $47,000. The committee awards varying dollar amounts of scholarships to LPSS students who show academic potential, a desire to succeed, and who have financial need. I am pleased to announce that every high school in the district is represented with some level of award, and a full list of names will be published on the LPSS website. Each year we host the Superintendent's Golf Tournament to fund these scholarships. This year the golf tournament is scheduled to be on June 18th. I want to extend an invitation to everyone to participate to help replenish this scholarship fund and allow more students an opportunity to advance in their educational journey. In closing, I'd like to thank the group of parents who met and collaborated with staff recently in finding ways within required mitigation guidelines to provide as many opportunities as possible for our students to participate safely in music and theater programs. Thank you to those parents. Madam President, this concludes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Troxclair. Next, we have item 1.4, recognition of Miss Marie Babineau, Auzenne Elementary School substitute teacher. I learned about Miss Babineau recently. She was a substitute teacher at Auzenne, and she was there for 30 years. She became part of the Auzenne family. The children loved her, and also the principals and the teachers. And I just wanted to share with you what I've learned about Ms. Babineau. Mrs. Marie Babineau began substitute teaching at Auzenne Elementary in 1980 when the school opened and her youngest son started kindergarten. She was a homemaker, not a teacher by trade, but fell in love with being in a school setting surrounded by kids. She lived less than a mile from the school, so she could quickly get there when an emergency or last-minute call came from a teacher needing a substitute. Because she was reliable and could manage a classroom full of students, whether in first grade or fifth grade, she would often substitute teach several times a week, becoming nearly a part of a full-time staff. Over the years, she witnessed changes in the school administration, teaching faculty and staff, as well as changes in education trends. Yet she continued to commit to helping anytime she was needed. In 2016, her husband was in a car accident and required more care at home, leaving Miss Marie to make the difficult decision to resign from substitute teaching to care for him. She was 85 at the time and still capable of a full day of teaching kids. She was saddened to have to suddenly give up her job of 36 years and the countless families she had grown to know and love. Generations of families speak of having Mrs. Babineau as their substitute teacher at Auzenne Elementary. We know substitute teaching is the very thing that kept her young, kept her busy, and kept her fulfilled. She will be forever a Gator. I just want to just kind of give her an applaud here. And we have Miss Danielle. Danielle, are you here? Would you like to come up and say a few words about Miss Babineau? Okay, come on, Anthony.
Ms. Morrison, thank you very much for those words. There are no truer words, that were spoken about Mom. Everything that you said was true. She took something that was really started out as a hobby, and she turned it into a 36-year career. On behalf of my sister-in-law Danielle and my brother Jerome, who's not able to be here right now, we really appreciate this recognition. She meant so much to so many people, and some of those people are here today. This means a lot. It really does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I would like to present you with her certificate. Could you come up? Mr. Angel?
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to say that I worked with Ms. Babineau at Auzenne Elementary. She worked for the very first principal that Auzenne Elementary ever had. He was a good friend of mine, and I know of Dr. Aguilar as well. His name was Gail Stutes, the late Gail Stutes. And I was the very first assistant principal that Auzenne Elementary had back in 1981. And I appreciated her and all the work and work ethic that she had. She had a work ethic that was more sincere, and she was for real. And I really appreciate Ms. Babineau's work. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Angel. So we move over to our next agenda item. We're going to go into litigation. Item 2.1, discussion and or action concerning pending litigation in the matter of Anitra Auzenne versus Ace American Insurance Company and Lafayette Parish School Board, docket C-20177-398, Division L, 15 Judicial Courts. I'd like to entertain a motion.
Madam President, I move that the board enters executive session to discuss strategy concerning pending litigation in the matter of Anitra Auzenne and versus Ace American Insurance Company and the Lafayette Parish School Board.
I have a motion. Get a second?
Second.
A second by Dr. Aguilar. We'll now go into executive session.
Aye.
saying right.
Madam
Right,
President, I move
okay.
that the board return to return to regular session.
Okay, I have a motion that the board returns into regular session. Do I
Second.
have a second?
Second.
Second, okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay, Mrs. Santani?
Madam President, I move that the board accept the advice of counsel.
Okay, I have a motion by Mrs. Santani to accept the recommendation of council and a second by Mr. Auzenne. All board members would like to vote? This is a vote. It's a vote. Mhm. Do we have any public comments? Okay. Any board comments?
Eight for, none against.
Okay, motion approved. We're gonna move on to information items. First item is item 3.1, donation of books. Mr. Broussard?
Thank you, Madam President. A couple of weeks ago, I was contacted by a group of individuals to introduce to the board 2 books to be added to our school system in the library, the middle schools and high school. But I'm going to doing the presentations, Ms. Sharon Patterson, Ms. Margie Broussard, and I'm going to reserve my comments until I have to. So, Ms. Sharon Patterson.
Good evening. My name is Sharon Patterson, and with me is Marjorie Hooper, who is a recent graduate of Lafayette Public Schools. We are here representing the Louisiana Literary and Speaker Series. When the Lafayette Public Library Board of Control refused to allow a discussion about 2 books concerning women's suffrage and Black citizens' fight to have the right to vote, we knew we had to do something. Communities who restrain access to ideas, who restrain the interchange of various ideologies, and who restrain reading certain books are in effect restraining education and knowledge. We may not all agree on certain actions, just as many of us do not agree with the board giving children access to a book authored by Rush Limbaugh. We may not agree on certain ideologies, as we do not agree on the ideology Rush Limbaugh represented. Yet, the board chose to give our children exposure to his rhetoric. We are here on behalf of community sponsors such as Black Voters Matter, the NAACP, the Southern University Law Center, and others, who have given over 100 books to libraries, youth groups, and community activists around the state. The books in concern are Vanguard by Martha Jones, How Black Women Broke Barriers, Won the Vote, and Insisted on Equality for All. And the other book is Bending Toward Justice by Gary May, The Voting Rights Act and the Transformation of American Democracy. We are donating 15 sets of these books, which makes 30 books in total, and we hope that these books will be used in our schools to allow students access to the great history of women and African Americans in their fight to obtain the right to vote in the United States of America. Board member Elroy Broussard will have these books in his possession. And we want to thank you for accepting these books and allowing us to speak.
Thank you, Ms. Patterson. Madam President, thank you for the board, thank you for the opportunity to present these books. As she said, the name of the book is Vanguard and Bending Toward Justice. Recently, in Sunday's paper, the advertiser wrote about the Four Corners was back in the day, back in the 20s and the 30s, and the racial divide that divided Lafayette north of Cameron and University as a racial divide. And as reading the book, one of the books, it referenced to the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Along with the paper on Sunday's advertiser, you must ask yourself, 50 plus years ago, we were fighting the Voting Rights Act in 1965, and today we're still fighting the same issue. So I'm presenting these books to the middle and high school and hoping they would take time to read it and understand the history that everyone has made to the city of Lafayette, the parish of Lafayette, the state of Louisiana, as well as the United States of America. A local radio disc jockey, a local station says on a regular basis, let us, before we die, pick up our heritage and hand it to our kids. And I don't know if who in here will listen to a radio station, but he says that on a regular basis. So I'm asking the public school system to allow our heritage to be presented to the kids so they can know the contribution that everyone made to make this the city that it should be. Let us be the first to break the racial barrier that has been dividing us for the last hundreds of years. I'm not going to say how many years, but it's 200-some years. Let us be the first to set the mold, to set the stage on how our city should be, and put aside our differences and move forward. Thank you for the opportunity. One other thing before I got the mic, I want to offer my condolences to an employee, the father of an employee, a bus driver that passed away, Miss Marguerite Jack, who drove for the school system for almost 30 years, retired a couple of weeks ago, did not get an opportunity to enjoy her retirement. So my condolences go out to her father and her son, and thank you.
Mr. Auzenne?
Yes, sir. Mr. Broussard, that quote was originated by Mr. Paul Marks, the late Mr. Paul Marks, who founded KBON Radio.
That's right. That's right. So, Tommy, when I said I think you and I are the only one in here that listened to it. So they don't know what it is.
And I'm not so sure about you.
But to explain who it is swamp pop music, Louisiana music, K-Bon station, and it play Louisiana music, all different types. It's a good station.
Thank you, Mr. Broussard. Thank you, Ms. Morgie. Okay, we'll move to our second information item. It's board members 2019-2020 continuing education units. Ms. Troxclair.
Madam President, this is simply our annual report to the board of the continuing education units for board members. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we'll move down to item 3.3, personnel changes, and from what I understand, we do not have any changes. So we'll move down to item 3.4, monthly facilities update. Mr. Bordelon?
Good evening, members of the board. Kyle Bordlawn, Director of Planning and Facilities. Included in your packet is the monthly facilities update. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer those at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Bordelon. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay. Next, we have 3.5, approved to be advertised by the superintendent. A list of bids approved to be advertised by the superintendent. Any comments? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 3.6, finance, 2002 half-cents sales tax interest revenue payment to classroom teachers 2019-2020. Mr. Guidry, Mr. Dugas, any comments?
Yes, this is the annual distribution in the month of May that we typically make from the 2002 1/2 cent sales tax of the interest collected. The check amount for this year will be $135.50, and it will be the payment will be made or direct deposited in the month of May. So just want to make the board aware of the dollar amount, and also provided in the attachment is a history that shows that this payment is comparable to the last 2 years and slightly more than the years prior to that. So just an FYI for board members.
Okay, next item is item 3.7, request for a qualifications process for the section of architects and engineers, small capital projects. Mr. Bordelon and Mr. Guidry.
This is just a follow-up to our March 23rd meeting. We wanted to let the board members know that we're working on this RFQ, and our plans are to come to the board and present the document at the June meeting.
Ms. LeBeau?
Madam President, thank you. Can I ask a question of Mr. Guidry? Do you plan on circulating that to the board prior to the June meeting? I mean, earlier than the normal 2 days before we, that we get our agenda usually.
We can do so. I'll make a note of it. Be happy to do that. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to move on to the consent agenda. I'll read each item. If any board member would like to pull an item, please do so, and all others will be voted in globo. Item 4.1, on track by 5 outdoor learning enhancement contract. 4.2, discussion and or action concerning resolution 0521-2004, Teacher Appreciation Week. I want to pull that. I'll pull 2.2. Okay. Item 4.3, discussion and or action concerning resolution 0521-2003, National School Nurse Day. I'll pull that one as well. Item 4.4, Child Nutrition Services, discussion and or action concerning resolution 0521-2002, Food Service Workers Week and School Lunch Hero Day. I'm going to pull that one as well. Item 4.4. Item 4.5, discussion and or action to allow board president and superintendent to award low bid for Karen Crow Middle exterior waterproofing project. 4.6, discussion and or action concerning approval of quotes for S.J. Montgomery Elementary playground equipment. 4.7, discussion or action concerning approval of quotes for Northside High concession stand roof replacement. 4.8, discussion or action concerning capital improvement budget revision for J.W. Falk playground equipment. Item 4.9, discussion or action concerning the COVID-related recovery and retention stipend. 4.10, discussion or action concerning the sales tax collection report for March 2021. 4.11, discussion and or action concerning the grant fund summary for April 2021. 4.12, discussion and or action concerning budget to actual report for April 2021. 4.13, discussion or action concerning the minutes of April 7th, April 15th, April 19th, and April 27th, 2021. Ms. Auzenne?
President, I move that we approve all of the actions not pulled.
Okay, I have a motion to vote on all items not pulled. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. LeBeau. I have a second by Ms. LeBeau. So, any comments from the public?
What items? 'Cause I know, but which ones were pulled?
3, 2, 3, and 4.
2, 3, and 4? Did we pull obviously we did.
Was
The
anything
stipend?
pulled?
You want to pull that one? What item is that? Would you like to, Dr. Sashon, would you like to add an item to the pull list?
Yes, ma'am. Let me pull 4.9.
4.9?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we'll add 4.9 as being pulled. Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Okay, seeing no comments from the public, do we have any comments from the board? Dr. Sashon?
Yes, ma'am. Real quick, let's see. Question for 4.7. Mr. Bordelon, which concession stand is that? Is that the one visitor side? Okay, that answers that question. And that's it.
Ms. Hanson?
Mason. I have a question about the playground equipment for, I'm sorry, yes, for S.J. Montgomery, or either one. Did these companies have to apply, or did we just choose 3 companies? I'm just curious, Mr. Bordelon.
There's 3 companies that we know of, possibly 4, that we know of that we call and get quotes, or we ask the schools to call them to work with them to figure out what kind of equipment they want, and the school will obtain quotes and then turn that in to us, and we bring it to the board for approval.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear on the process. Thank you.
Any additional comments? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote.
Eight for, none against.
Okay, motion carries. First item pull is item 4.2, discussion on our action concerning resolution 0521-2004, Teacher Appreciation Week. Ms. LeBeau, would you like to read it for us?
Yes, ma'am. Teacher Appreciation Week. Whereas teachers mold future citizens through guidance and education, and whereas teachers strive to make every classroom an exciting, productive place to learn and grow, and whereas teachers encounter students of widely differing backgrounds, race, ethnic origin, and religion, and Whereas teachers motivate individual students to find new directions in life and reach high levels of achievement that fosters the well-being of each student. And whereas our country's future depends upon providing quality education to all students. And whereas teachers spend countless hours preparing lessons, evaluating progress, counseling and coaching students, and performing community service. And whereas our community recognizes and supports its teachers in educating the children of this community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board proclaims the week of May 3rd through 7th, 2021 as Teacher Appreciation Week. And be it further resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board strongly encourages all members of our community to join with it in personally expressing appreciation to our teachers for their dedication and devotion to their work.
Thank you. Do we have any comments from the public? Any comments? Yeah.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve Resolution 05-21-2004 Teacher Appreciation Week.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Ms. LeBeau. Do we have a second? Dr. Aguilar has a second. So any comments from the public? Any comments from the board?
Just want to echo the sentiments of the resolution and tell all the teachers, staff, paraprofessionals, everybody that we appreciate all that you do to get our children give them the foundation that they need to be successful in life. And we really appreciate all that you did this year, especially through all of the different situations you encountered. Thank you.
And I'll echo Ms. LeBeau. We can't tell you how much we appreciate our teachers and all of our staff for the past year. You've done so much for our children, and we couldn't be more proud and more appreciative. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys. Anyone else? Mr. Broussard?
Want to echo those words as well, especially this last couple of years when everything has been thrown at us with the flood, the ice storm, the pandemic, and everything, all the challenges that could have been thrown our way has been thrown our way, and thank you to all the teachers and everybody else in the educational field for doing such a tremendous job and not complaining with the challenges that was before us, and we certainly appreciate you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and call for the vote.
Eight for, none against.
Motion carries. Next item pull is item 4.3, discussion and our action concerning Resolution 0521-2003, National School Nurse Day. I would like to entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Centani, second. Second by Mr. Angel. Any comments from the public? From the board? Ms. Mason, would you like to read it for us?
Sure. All right. National School Nurse Day. Whereas children are the future, and by investing in them today, we are ensuring our world for tomorrow. And whereas all students have a right to their health needs safely met while in the school setting, as children today face more complex and life-threatening health problems requiring care in school. And whereas school nurses have served a critical role in improving public health and in ensuring students' academic success for more than 100 years. And whereas school nurses are professional nurses that advance the well-being, academic success, and lifelong achievements of all students by serving on the front lines and providing a critical safety net for our nation's most fragile children. And whereas school nurses act as a liaison to the school community, parents, and healthcare providers on behalf of children's health by promoting wellness and improving health outcomes for our nation's children. And whereas school nurses support the health and educational success of children and youth by providing access to care when children's cognitive development is at its peak. And whereas school nurses understand the link between health and learning and are in a position to make a positive difference for children every day. Therefore, be it duly resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board does hereby designate the day of May 12th, 2021 as National School Nurse Day.
Thank you, Ms. Mason. Do we have any comments from the board? Okay. Seeing none, I'll go ahead and call for the vote.
Eight for, none against.
Motion carries. Next item pulled is item 4.4, discussion and/or action concerning Resolution 0521-2002, Food Service Workers Week and School Lunch Hero Day. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve.
Madam President, I move that we approve Resolution 0521-2002, Food Service Workers Week and School Lunch Hero Day.
I have a motion by Ms. LeBeau. I need a second. Second by Mr. Auzenne. Any comments from the public? Okay. Wanna read? Yeah, Mr. Auzenne. Ms. LeBeau, would you read it for us?
Whereas all nutrition programs are dedicated to the health and well-being of our nation's children, and whereas nutritious meals at school are an essential part of the school day, and whereas the staff of the LPSS Child Nutrition Services is committed to providing healthful, nutritious meals to the district's children, and whereas the men and women who prepare and serve school meals help nurture our children through their daily interaction and support, and now be it resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board does hereby support the week of May 3rd through 7th, 2021 as Food Service Workers Week and Friday, May 7th, 2021 as School Lunch Hero Day, and encourage our administrators, teachers, support staff, parents, students, and other community members to recognize these valuable employees and commend their good work on behalf of the children.
Any comments from the public? Any comments from the board? Ms. Mason?
I would like to say that my children still love recess and lunch. It's their favorite time at school. And I really wanted to say that, you know, the School Lunch Hero Day, you know, these really were our heroes during the pandemic. We still drove by to pick up lunch during the days when we could not attend school. And my kids just, they loved it. They loved getting to go to school and see someone at the school, and I really feel like they kept our parish going, and it was good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Mason. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Hey everybody, I'm Stephanie. I love the cafeteria workers, and I think it's great what y'all are doing, but I would very much like to not use the federal program and turn to our local farmers and try to feed our children non-GMO, natural, organic food. So I would like to research that and start feeding our children real healthy stuff. So that's my thing. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, we'll go ahead and call for the vote.
Eight for, none against.
Motion carries. Our last item pulled is item 4.9, discussion and or action concerning the COVID-related recovery and retention stipend. And I believe, Dr. Sashaw,
Yes,
can I
ma'am.
get a motion to approve?
Yes, ma'am. Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Sashaw
Second.
and a second by Ms. Ledoux. Any comments from the public?
Marcus Thomas, now Director of Government Relations for LAE, but longtime UNICEF Director for LAE. Just want to thank the board for making this motion to pay the COVID stipend. It's been a long road. LPAE started these conversations back in 2020 in March. When this all started, and none of us knew what to do. Ms. Trosclair and myself, Ms. Gardner, we sat across the table, very social distance, for plenty of meetings, talking about the safety of the educators, and it led all the way till today, us having conversations about the COVID stipend. So I want to thank the board for appreciating the employees. What a gift to the employees on Teacher Appreciation Week. And I want to give a special thanks to a longtime friend of mine, Dr. Chasson, for always being there when I needed him as a UNICEF director and a friend to talk to, and always a listening ear for me calling his phone probably than he wanted me to. I want to thank my local leaders, Gemma and Julia. Julia's always here. Gemma's always here advocating for the educators. Julia has a 6-month-old. I have a 1-year-old. So the time and dedication that they put into this. And I want to thank Central Office for continuing to have a great working relationship with LAE, Ms. Gardner, Mr. Touchette, and I want to give a special thanks to Ms. Trosclair for always believing in her educators, trusting me trusting her, sitting across the table having tough conversations and telling me, don't pull that mask down on me, Marcus, when you talk to me. So I'm gonna miss those conversations we had, and we always had the best interest of educators in mind. I wanted to give a special thanks to Central Office and let y'all know that y'all are in good hands, that y'all are being replaced by Ms. Shelley Byron here, gonna be the new UNICEF Director for the Parish. And I just want to reiterate that this stipend is going to all educators, because it's just not about teachers in Lafayette Parish. It's about all educators. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Lafayette Parish Association of Educators, and we're going to continue this strong and great working relationship with you guys. Thank you.
So I would like to ask Marcus, well, I'm gonna actually ask Julia, how often it changed the answer when you pull your mask down and lean forward. Never.
Shelley Byron, the new UNICEF Director. I just want to echo the gratitude expressed by Mr. Thomas, and thank you for recognizing all the hard work and dedication of all of our educators in Lafayette Parish. They impact our students daily, and I look forward to working with each of you and continuing the partnership that has been built along the way.
Any comments from the board? Mrs. Centani?
Mr. Thomas is going to laugh at least part of this. I'll start off with a personal story about September 8th of 2020, when I walked my son, who's starting 3rd grade, to the bus stop. And we were waiting there, and the bus turned the corner to come down St. Mary Boulevard. And I didn't cry, but I felt like it. Because there were so many times in the prior 7 weeks that I didn't think we would ever get to the day where our children went to school. And that was just day one. You know, we had 181 days left to go. But leading up to that day, you know, and I'm pretty sure everybody understands or knows that I felt very strongly that we at least had to try going to school. And we had differences of opinion even among the board members. But I know for a fact that every board member made their decision with a kind heart in what they thought was the best for the children of our parish. And now that we're getting down to the final days, my children told me this morning, I don't know the exact count, but they're keeping track for me. 17. They're right. then that's the number. That's the number they told me this morning. That's right. That's right. But you know, as we get down to the final days, I'm also, I guess, I don't want to say wise, but I'm certainly not naive enough to know that it didn't have to turn out this way. And it took everybody from the top to the bottom of the organization to make it happen. It took our central office staff in the procurement department buying masks for those days that my son didn't bring a mask with him. The bus driver had a mask ready for him when he got on the bus. It took the procurement department buying hand sanitizer and our janitors making sure the hand sanitizing stations were full. And it took the superintendent making sure that training programs were available to all of our school-based personnel to make sure they understood the guidelines and the mitigation factors that had to be taking place. It took everyone, and I'm especially proud that we're recognizing our support staff who may have done more this year than ever before. Yeah. We wouldn't have been successful, and so I'm very proud that every single one of our full-time employees is getting this stipend. We wouldn't have been anywhere near successful enough this year without everyone doing their part, including Mr. Thomas, who one Saturday in early August of last year was kind enough to take my phone call and let me yell at him for probably a solid 45 minutes. We had just gone through the vote to reopen school, and we were getting some rather testy emails sent to us, and Mr. Thomas was in the wrong place at the right time for me. He called to give me some advice, and I told him exactly what I thought of his advice. But I'm very grateful for that, because Mr. Thomas is a friend, and he was someone that allowed me to get something off my chest and feel better about us moving forward as a school system. So with that, I'll stop rambling. I'm very proud and very happy for our employees to be getting this money.
I'd like to echo Mrs. Centeni. Really impressed by the togetherness of all of employees, how you work together. Dr. Robin Lay, that creating those different plans, phase 1, 2, and 3. There's a lot of work involved in that. We had to just change everything that we had to do, and we got it done. You know, with Ms. Troxclair's leadership, I'm so happy to be a part of an organization and a team that works so well together. The entire central office, the teachers, the cafeteria workers, the janitors, just working to get it done. Our school bus drivers, and you know, you should give yourself a pat on the back and say, we got it done. I was a part of this, and our kids are going to be okay, because they are the most important part of what we do. We needed to take care of our kids, and we did. So congratulations to everyone involved. Great job. Okay, I guess now we have to vote, right?
Wait, I got one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Stasson?
Let's see. Mr. Thomas, you broke me down, sir. You broke me down. I do recall, Marcus, I didn't even have an understanding of what position you had got. I just know you were leaving. I had that understanding. So I said, well, man, Marcus is real easy to talk to. Anytime there's an issue, Marcus will give me a call, send me a text message. Marcus and I are friends. So he really goes out his way to make sure that I have a complete understanding. Then I'll call Ms. Troxclair, and then we'll all talk, and we always come up with the best thing for the school system. But I do recall Marcus, really quickly, I do recall Ms. Troxclair calling me and telling me, I can't believe Marcus was pulling down his mask because he really wanted me to understand where he was coming from. And I had to tell him, like, Marcus, you don't have to put on your mask. And I said, well, was he being mean? She said, no, he wasn't being ugly at all. It's just the passion. But every time he pull it down, I'm like, Marcus, you can leave your mask up. That's perfectly fine. But he was trying to get his point across. And I recall multiple times Ms. Troxclair would say, if Marcus calls my cell phone one more time, and then he would text us both. So he wouldn't call, he'd send us a text message. I recall Marcus telling me about him and Justin's conversation. Justin and I talked before Marcus and I did. He said, man, that Marcus, man, he's all right with me, yeah. I say, why you say that? He let me chew on him for about 45 minutes. I say, wow. And last but not least, Marcus rang my phone May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd, and May 4th, just to remind me, and, hey man, just want to be sure, just so it's everybody, just making sure, just fighting for everybody. And with the realization that May 1st is fine, May 2nd is fine, May 3rd is fine, May 4th is fine. No, May 4th is not fine. This guy was calling me on his daughter's first birthday, May 4th. Like, that's some dedication right there, man. I got to give it to you. That's some dedication. To every single person that worked on this, I appreciate you. I stay striving to be sure that we can try and give as much money to the people that I think are a little underrepresented, and as well the teachers as well. Thank you to Ms. Trosclair, and a huge thank you to the board. Like, I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. There was general talk about this, and no one chimed in on it. And I said, well, man, I'm gonna start calling every single person. I'm gonna send a separate text message. I'm gonna call you just to see where you're at, because man, I really want to be sure we get everything we can for the underrepresented people. And I guess I was a little naive, because every single board member was actually beating me to the punch. Every single board member was like, oh yeah, that's a given, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, great. I'm moving on to the next person, just to check, just to see how they felt about it. And every single board member said either, hey, Dr. Aguilar told me, hey, I've already expressed that to the superintendent. We got to be sure. Justin made sure, hey, I've already expressed. Every single person that I called, they made sure to tell me, oh yeah, we're gonna make sure everybody gets the same amount, which is typically not the case. So I really appreciate it. And to every single person that went into the school year, that went into helping us for the school year, I appreciate you. Money well deserved, money well earned. I promise you, I'm gonna keep fighting to try and find even more money, I promise. And last but not least, just thank you, and I love you, appreciate it.
We're done? Ms. LeBoux?
I just want to say that I would like to thank whoever had the foresight to do the superintendent search before our shutdown in March, because thank you, President Morrison. I cannot even imagine how difficult this would have been without having the Irma in that seat through this entire process. So I just want to say how grateful I am that you accepted the position, and how grateful I was to have your leadership through it all, because I do know that you have the best intentions for every level of this school system, every person in the school system. So I just want to say I'm grateful for your leadership through this, because it really, especially being a first-year board member, if it would have come down to us trying to make these decisions and try to make this work, it wouldn't have worked. So just want to tell you how grateful I am, and how much I know that you have the service in mind to every person in the school system first. And so I just want to say I'm grateful, and I'm grateful to our board members that we were able to work together, but also know that we had the right leadership in place. That made it a lot easier to work together. So thank you so much to everybody in this room, because I know y'all put in much more than 8 to 5 every day. I know this money can never equate to the hours that you put in to make sure that we were up and running so that the kids could catch that bus September 8th. But just know that we're all grateful, and no words can express that, and no amount of money can express that. And every teacher, staff member, bus driver, cafeteria worker, janitor, thank you very much.
Okay, I'll go ahead and call for the vote.
I was supposed, Madam President, I was supposed to say that Mr. Lachele, though he is under the weather tonight, texted me and asked me to say he is wholeheartedly in support of this and couldn't be more excited for everyone. I would be remiss if I didn't pass that along to everyone.
Eight for, none against.
Motion carries. That was our last agenda item. But before we adjourn, I would like to make an announcement. Our budget adoption meeting will be held May 19th, at 4 p.m. at Lafayette High School Auditorium. So May 19th, our budget adoption meeting, Lafayette High School Auditorium. Okay. Okay, no further business. I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting.